Hi.
Hi.
Okay, so we're live. Today's May 25th, 24th, May 24th, 2025. And I told my Instagram followers that if I got 2 or 3 questions, that I would do a live on YouTube to answer them. So that's what I'm going to do. I definitely have more than 2 or 3 questions to answer today. Okay, so to give you a little update about us, Josiah was sick a lot last week, and today I woke up with a sore throat. So I'm just really hoping that I don't follow him and get sick this coming up week. So I'm going to get this over with just in case. I can't do it tomorrow because I'm not feeling good. I already have a sore throat today. So today we went and looked at a property for someone who's moving here, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we also did that yesterday and the day before yesterday. So that's been fun. It's been something that's like, it's neat to go and see new apartments and see what's out there. I've been making YouTube videos about the surrounding area of the apartment. And so that's been interesting. So if you want to send me an Idealista link to go and look at a specific apartment to see what the livability perspective is from someone who's lived here for a while, like what do we look for when we look at an apartment, I would be happy to do that for you. Just give me the link on Idealista, and then I can go and search that area out and go walk within 1 to 1.5 blocks around the address to see what's there. Then today we went and we found a bakery. We found a bakery that's owned by an American.
Yeah, that they sell giant donuts.
Yeah, giant donuts and cinnamon rolls. And he said that he sold 93,000 cinnamon rolls last year. And he's lived in Zaragoza for 9 years. And we got an apple pie.
Yeah, and also their donuts. I don't know if you might have seen it in the video, but they're like this big. They're like almost 1 foot long.
This is apple pie. This is the apple. Okay, they have a bakery in Las Fuentes.
Can I have mine?
That has an open bakery, so you can see through a window or something like that about what they're doing, and we're gonna go there.
Can I have mine?
But today we have apple pie.
Okay. Let's see what mine tastes like.
It's good.
Okay, I'm gonna.
And how much more American can you get than apple pie? This is a cinnamon roll. What is this?
Let's see.
Make sure you chew with your mouth closed. Nobody wants to see the inside of your mouth. I don't know if this is frosting or cream cheese.
Man, that's good.
It's cream cheese frosting. Oh
Mommy,
my gosh.
Can I have all of it?
This is so American.
Can I have all of it?
And this
Can I have all of it?
Cinnamon roll is hola.
Hello, Lasai. I remember them from two videos ago.
A couple of videos ago, yes.
Hello.
This cinnamon roll is like, we have this saying in Texas, everything is big in Texas. And I say this guy's bakery is like Texas because the donuts were the size of my face. And this cinnamon roll is huge.
Can I have all of it?
It's called the Funky Rolls. You can look that up on Google Maps. It's called Funky Rolls. Like I said, the owner's American. He has 3 locations here, if I remember correctly. And he's opening up a 4th one in Bilbao. So obviously he's successful. So he has a whole business here in Spain and has lived here for 9 years.
Wow.
Okay. I thought I would give a little Spain update. Yay! Go to the American bakery. You learn small.
It's called Funky Donuts.
You only learn small things.
Funky rolls, right?
Yes,
rolls.
You only learn.
Mommy, can I have all of this?
One of my rules for him in every video is that he cannot interrupt me. And just now he interrupted me 3 times. I can't even get out the words that I don't even know what I was going to say anymore. I mean, it's like crazy. Oh, you only learn a small amount from me. I learn a lot more from you guys. That's what I was going to say, because this comment here says that you learn from us, but we learn from you too. I do like to share on Instagram figures of speech from my country, which are not always the same just because it's English. That doesn't matter because it's not United Kingdom or Australian or South African or whatever figures of speech or American figures of speech. And I like to share those on Instagram. And so sometimes I end up sharing a figure of speech, and then they'll tell me what the equivalent is of that.
Agent TDM.
Yeah. Is it Mike?
Mark.
Mark. Oh man, we were almost there with the M. Okay. So on the 21st, I think, of this week, the immigration laws in Spain changed, and everyone is talking about them on social media in the immigrant groups. In some ways, it's helping some groups of people, and in other ways, maybe it's not helping them. It's helping people who are, for instance, spouses of Spanish citizens to be able to acquire residency easier, but then it's making it a little bit more difficult to prove the finances when you're coming in on a non-lucrative visa, and just tightening up some strings here and there, maybe some loopholes that people have been using to do their renewals. And there's different things that I've seen that have changed with kind of like recommending that you not leave your money that you're going to use for your renewal in a foreign bank account, but put it into a Spanish bank account. It makes sense whether you like it or not, because when your money is in a Spanish bank, the banks earn interest off of that money. They invested, and so that's benefiting the Spanish banks. Okay, so that's just something that's kind of relevant to people who contact me with questions, is the changes with the immigration and stuff like that. Okay, so now I'm going to go right into viewer questions. And if you have additional questions, you can put them in the chat. You just have to subscribe to my channel. And then you wait 1 minute if you're not already subscribed, and you can put the question in the chat. For now, I'm going to switch over. I already have this post here. And what I have done is I have taken the questions I got from the question boxes in Instagram, and I have put them into the comment section on the post section, where people can leave post, and where I sometimes leave post on the YouTube channel. So if by chance I missed something, just let me know. I'm not perfect. So let's see here. Window, no. Screen, no. Chrome tab. Okay, so I'm going to start at the bottom. And the question says, it's right here. Can you guys see me? Yes, no. Can you see me over there? Oh, I see myself kind of now. Okay, so the question is, yes, people also help me out a lot from the city. So if I don't know something, I usually ask on Instagram, and they answer my greatest asset, or the Zaragozanos here, who help me out a lot with information that I don't already know, or help me to expand my information. So would you say that Zaragoza has a decent amount of activities for your kids and family in comparison to when you lived in Madrid? Yes, I would say that I don't think that there's a big difference in the amount of activities. It's just that they're more accessible here, because I don't have to get on the metro for an hour to go across the city. A lot of the things that I would want to do in Madrid.
Daddy says that the screen is black.
The screen is black.
Can you guys see me? For like a few minutes, it was like for a few seconds, it was black completely, and then
can someone tell me on the chat if you can see me or not, or is the screen black?
Daddy says that when he was watching it.
Okay, they see me. I see right here in the chat that they see me. Okay, thank you. I have my husband watching just to make sure that everything works right on it, and he's saying that something's black, but if it doesn't work, it would be all black, so it's working. Okay, so as I was saying, Madrid has everything, yes, but it's such a big city that we had a hard time getting to things that we wanted to do, because you have to take the metro. You have to go an hour across the city, or an hour and a half. And so a lot of things were off limits due to distance, not because we didn't want to go, but because it was just so far. It takes up a lot of your time just commuting there. So it's better for us here, because we can walk or take the bus, and there's so much to do here, but yet in a compact way. So it's just more accessible. Okay, I can elaborate more on that. If the person who wrote this question is watching and they want to say, if they want to know more, they can add it to the chat. Did your family move with anything other than personal belongings and important paperwork? We're selling everything and wondering what it's like buying furniture abroad. So I talked about the furniture abroad thing in the last live, because someone else asked a similar question, and I suggested that you buy. It's the fastest and easiest and simplest way is to buy from IKEA when you first get here and you don't have anything, and you are tired and you just want that feeling of home, and you don't want to, shop at a bunch of different stores. Aside from our personal belongings and important paperwork, we brought our children. And we came with 15 suitcases. We came from Mexico. And so we took a lot of our things from Mexico in a trailer.
And also we sold some of them.
Yeah, we sold a lot of our stuff there, and then we put a lot of our things in a trailer, and we drove through northern Mexico, and then I drove through the southern United States, and I put the stuff in storage that I wanted to keep some personal effects. That was our second international move in about a 2.5-year period. The first one was from the United States to Mexico. And again, at that time, we sold a lot of our stuff, but we also brought it in the trailer because we were staying on land, so we could travel, on the same landmass. And so we still brought a lot of our things with us to Mexico, but we got rid of probably 90% of everything. Coming to Spain from Mexico and having to get on the airplane, we did not bring any of our furniture or anything like that with us, just the things that would fit in 15, the maximum amount of suitcases. So what we did was, if you buy a premium economy ticket, you get more comfortable seating, you get a better meal, and you get extra luggage at no extra cost. So we maxed out all of our luggage and all of our luggage numbers that we could have per person, and the maximum amount of weight that we could have in them, which I don't think the number went way up above what you're allowed in economy. So it was worth the cost because we got to have our stuff with us, and it's safer to bring your things with you on the airplane because you're not depending on someone else to move them for you, having to pay customs, import fees, all of that, things getting held up at the border for months at a time. So it's better to, Josiah has a question.
Can I have all of this, or is it for?
Not right now.
I'm hungry.
It's better to bring the stuff in the suitcases, whatever you can bring. Okay. What has your experience or process been like in getting IberoAmerican citizenship? So this topic comes up a lot. I have made a video already about IberoAmerican citizenship, and I've talked about it on a couple of lives. I don't have the citizenship, and I don't plan on getting the citizenship. One of the things for me that actually I just found out, I've talked about this plenty, about how I'm not getting citizenship right now, that I have temporary residency for 5 years through my husband who got citizenship. And the process has already been documented in a blog post and in a YouTube video. So I don't need to get into all of it here again. But I will say something that I learned is that, no, you can't do that. Get. Something that I've learned is, because right now we're working on the immigration process for my husband in the United States. And something that I've learned there is that I need to make sure that I always appear temporary here to the United States. So if I was to get citizenship in Spain, then it would make me appear permanent in Spain, and then my country wouldn't weigh that as a benefit to letting my husband go back to the US eventually, if they will. So I have to be looking to the United States like I did not leave permanently. And if they see that I'm a citizen of Spain, then they will be like, well, you're in your country, right? You're in a citizenship country. So I'm definitely not going to be doing that now for that reason until, and at least until we're done with his immigration process in the United States. Okay, so are there apartment buildings that have a rental office and you just go through them? No. So if you don't know, if you're watching this and you're in Spain, in the US, apartments are like companies, corporations, really. And you go there and you walk into the office and you say, I want an apartment. And they usually will have promotions. And you show them, they pull your credit, they look at your credit report, they look at how much money you make. Do you make triple the rent? Okay, yes, your credit is fine. Yes, you don't have anything against you for previous rentals. Yes, okay, we'll rent an apartment to you. Do you want to go see it? You go see it. Oh, the first month we're going to give you $100 off and $50 deposit and whatever. And then bam, you move into an apartment like 3 days later. And it's easy. It's easy if you have decent credit and you've got $50 or $100 to give in a down payment or like a deposit. And even that they give you deals sometimes, rental discounts or half a month off of rent or $200 off of your month of rent. So that's what this person is talking about. That process does not happen here. Here, the best thing I could compare it to is that in the US, when you have a condo building and the condos, each unit is owned by and has an owner, an individual owner. And so that's what it's like here. It's kind of like condos in the US. So an apartment in Spain is not like an apartment in the US. There might be some areas where the apartments are like that as far as like noise and things and hearing your neighbors. But if you move into a good area in a good building that's taken care of, you're not going to have a lot of crazy noise coming from your neighbors. You will have that if you don't go to a good area and you don't go into a good building. It's just the nature of it, you know. But as long as you live in a good area, you're most likely not going to have a lot of problems with noise from your neighbors because of how the people behave, and also because of how the apartment buildings are constructed and different things that owners put in the apartments to reduce the noise. For example, double pane windows with the seals on them that keep out the road noise and any noise outside. Our apartment has literally some fabric on some of the walls, which helps to reduce noise. So it's that no, there's not rental offices here to go into to get a rental, but also apartment buildings are not the same here as they are in the United States. It's really not even an apartment building. It's a building where there's businesses downstairs and there's apartments upstairs. It's just a building that's used for grocery stores, attorneys, dentists, restaurants, cafes, and then people live upstairs. Have you thought about teaching English in Zaragoza? Well, I've thought about it because I've been asked quite a few times. In the past, I said no because I didn't have work authorization, and so it was just not even something I could consider. I don't teach English. I have a TEFL before I left the US. I got my TEFL just as a backup. I have been a teacher in the past of science. I have a master's degree in biology and environmental science. I give English lessons on Instagram. I think, does that count? Free to all. Little things, not really the English lessons per se, but little things. I wouldn't mind, having conversation with someone or whatever, correcting their language, but to be teaching it from scratch, I don't know. That's a little scary. I don't know if I could do that. Okay. I think that's all. That's all the questions. Anything from anybody? I think I'm going to be finished because I've gone through the questions. And yeah, I've gone through all the questions here. And these came from comments on the YouTube videos and from the question boxes in Zaragoza. And as long as I don't have anything else here, I don't think I do. But let me find my little question box. It's gone because it's already gone because it goes away after 24 hours, so it's gone. So anyway, that's going to be it. Thank you for watching. I will try to do this again next week. I tour on the tram, for example. I've taken some video from the tram, but man, it's so hard because the windows on the tram are like, they have the tint on them and the advertisements. And it's really hard for me to get with my camera and get a view. And, people are always looking at me when I'm outside doing this. I try to avoid eye contact. I'm not looking at people while I'm doing this. But on the bus, I can get up on like the right seat in the back and get a view and find a spot that doesn't have tint or an advertisement on it. But on the tram, they got the whole tram like wrapped in advertisements. And the thing is very crowded and I can hardly ever even find a seat to sit in. But I've had like a couple of videos that have had views from the tram, but I always, it's difficult. And then it's really weird because people have all kinds of conversations. They have conversations on the phone, conversations with each other. Yes, I have. I've done the Roman tour on the so in Zaragoza, they have this thing called the Roman Walk or the Roman Tour. Well, anyways, there's a little pathway that you can go through here, and you go to like the Zaragoza Museum and the Zaragoza Museum and the Roman baths. And there's another one. I think there's like 5 things, but the Zaragoza Museum is actually not open right now. And that's where I'm stuck. We've gone on the first Sunday of every month. You can go for free to a lot of the museums. And so for a while, every month, we were going to one of the museums for free from the Roman tour. But then we got stuck because the Zaragoza Museum is closed right now. It's being redone. And so I can't go there for 2 years. I can't go to that museum for 2 years. So I can't finish the Roman tour for 2 years. But I've never actually like walked the path. You know, I've just gone to the museum. So maybe I could do like a YouTube video where I walk the path of the Roman museum, but I don't necessarily go into all the museums. Just there's so much history here, just outside, like, you know, there's a whole Roman wall here, and plus the buildings and everything. Okay, so I've also had people ask me, would I go look for apartments for them? I'm looking at apartments right now for a family. And there's someone that I've been talking to, and it's kind of like a trial to see if I can do this. Someone I'd already been talking to, they're from the area that I used to live in. So it just kind of like happened like that. And it was very natural. And they got the idea that would I go look for an apartment for them? So maybe they'll have a place to live when they get here. So I said yes. And they're paying me to do that, but it's like a one-time thing. So if it goes well, then maybe I can help other people too. And maybe I can make a little branch off of this whole thing, doing that. I don't mind doing it within like certain conditions and situations because I don't have like a ton of time to be doing things. I'm really mostly open only to doing this type of stuff when my kids are at school. I don't want to take away from that time. So yeah, I will also talk to you on the phone if you want, but I think that my YouTube videos and my blog, and if you follow me on Instagram, I mean, I already have so much information out there that if you just get into it, probably most of your questions will be answered, and you'll be able to see what we did, how we are doing it, why we like this, why we like that. Do we think this is a good place for families? And yeah, of course, obviously we do, or we wouldn't live here. So that's something that I'm offering, or in the process of offering. So if you are interested in that, you can reach out to me, or you can look on my Instagram and click the booking link for like a consultation call. I'm not trying to advertise myself or push this out there. I'm just giving the information that it exists now because I'm being asked often for this. And so that's why I'm telling you about it. I would love to go back to the United States. I haven't been in 2 years. Yeah, it's just that it's expensive. With the 2 kids and myself, it is a few thousand euros round trip. And then when I get there, I have to rent a car because we don't, or I have to depend on Uber, which I'm halfway considering, but I at least would need to rent a car for a couple of days. So renting the car like adds another 33% to the cost of the trip on top of the tickets. But I hope that in the next year that I can go back. I would love to go in July because I really want my kids to be there for the 4th of July. They've never experienced that. Well, my oldest has not experienced that since he was probably 2 or 3, but my youngest has like done almost nothing there. So I would love for that to happen. But hey, maybe if my YouTube channel monetizes, I'll be able to do something like that. We'll see. And then it'll be cool because then I can document my kids' culture shocks, Americans and culture shock in the United States, right? Something like that. Someone's going to get mad at me because I called myself an American. Too bad this is only water and not alcohol. After that, I made the mistake of calling myself an American. I'm never going to live it down now. Okay, well, I will see you guys later. Yes, it's like saying Spaniard or Spanish person. I don't know what I'm supposed to call myself. United Statesian, apparently. It's just so much longer to say that and harder. Easier to say American. Anyway, that'll be it. And if you have any more questions, you can put them on in any kind of comment or in the comment. I'm going to probably try to make like a community post where I say like, this is the life for this weekend or whatever. And then you can add the questions there too. Kind of like this. If you see here, I wrote at the top of where this is, I wrote questions for the live on May 24th, 2025. And so maybe next week I'll do the same and you can put your questions there. Okay, or you can just join the live when it comes on and ask the questions in the chat, and then that also gets it taken care of. Okay, so thank you for coming. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate it, and your excitement for what I'm doing and everything else. And it's good to see you guys too. And I will see you next week, or I'll see you in my stories on Instagram.